Alrighty. What's up, Shrudo2? Glad you all liked my builds. Well, the majority of you. There's some dislikes for some reason, as if providing content is a sin. Anywho, this video first most will go to, let me look at your name real quick. It is a Reddit poster by the name of Yourtoid. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he says, so while I see yogurt, or I'll just get to the Dazzle part. What do you do early game if you're not snowballing super hard? You're not really an initiator, you can't burst the support, while the core will probably be key at this point. So I feel you would just get ignored. So I'm going to answer your question, and I'll show you the reason why you can't be ignored is because this hero, let's just say level 10. We're going to go to level 10. All right, this is at a laning phase. People are moving around the map, counter warding, we're jungling. All right, game's flowing. Laning phase is done. All right. The reason you can't ignore this hero is because he's a 50 damage talent. And Juju, at rank 1, negatives 2 armor per spell. And per average engagement, you're getting 3 spells off. So you're negative 6ing people. So negative 6 armor on an annual basis, right? Plus 50 damage, plus your 52 damage a second through poison. I like to keep heal at level 2 because level 2 Grave's really good because it gives you more range and a little bit more duration on your toggle. And you want to push that CDR down a little bit when you get your armlet and your blade mail. So you're gonna actually max Grave, probably leave heal at 2. Because Shadow Wave's good, but per point it's really not anything crazy, right? It does its job. Level 2 is a great level for it. So just leave it at that. I mean, you can do max heal if you want, but I highly recommend keeping Shallow Grave maxed because the difference between level 17 and 13 is massive in terms of duration of the game. So once you got your phase boots, so you're going to have your plus 12 here, plus 50, you deal 150 damage, right? You can't be ignored. No matter what, you're going to kill somebody. It might take a few seconds, but you will kill somebody. This hero, no matter what, has damage. And the more he attacks, the more the slow is effective, or the more it scales. So early on, it's really hard for a hero to deal with any armlet users, specifically mids, because they don't really have the damage output to deal 16 to 1400 health, especially when you can just retoggle. So the armlet alone allows you to all in any hero at any given time, and you don't have to worry about dying. Not necessarily as much as they do, right? So engagements are always advantageous, and you're really going to force them to make mistakes. And you're asking, well, I feel like it's really hard for Blade Mail to find damage windows of opportunity, right? Well, that makes sense, and I agree. Once they know you have Blade Mail, they're really not going to target you, but that's where your intuition comes into play. And I know that sounds really cringe, but you just gotta know when they're gonna attack you, when they are attacking you, when you're being casted on. But also when let's just say you fuck up on a blade mail active and no one really damages you. Well, you should look at it this way: you have 5 seconds to fucking just attack them, and they can't do shit. So for 5 seconds, basically, they're not gonna target you. So you have free reign. You're gonna cast. You're going to cast, you're going to save allies. You're going to do whatever you want to do. Move around, reposition. So it's not necessarily just returning damage. It's forcing their hand. It's making them do decisions they don't want to do. Like, do you want to be, like, you're going to have to kill the Dazzle. A lot of times, more often than not, they're just going to attack you. I know in theory the best play is to not make a play at all, but they're going to have to deal with you. Just because mostly this 50 damage talent in conjunction with bad juju. No matter what, the longer the fight goes, the more damage you deal. And it's exponential. Now, I know you might think, well, you don't really have a lot of mana for this build. I agree. It's rough playing Dazzle, but that's why phase boots and bottles really useful. And that's why I'm hoping you get a shovel or an arcane ring, or at level 15, maybe an essence ring or something. You just gotta pray you get a neutral item sometimes. But even if you have mana issues, you know, you have the bottle, but you can get wand. There's tons of things. I always get a baby wand. I think that goes without saying. Just base wands, you should always buy one. But yeah, like with this build, you have a shit ton of armor, and then when you hit level 15, get this massive strength talent. Now you could go with the attack speed if you wanted damage, but you really don't need it because his attack move is so solid that attack speed is just superfluous, honestly. Because you always want to be moving after each attack anyway for positioning and stuff. You don't want to idle and auto attack. You just end up dying. Following Armlet, I always buy Blink Dagger. The reason why is Blink with the CDR is fucking insane, and it's just a really good item to get you around the map. It kind of takes up the spot of Boots of Travel, which are insanely good on Dazzle, but they're just so too expensive to really buy. Because I know a lot of mids fall in that pattern of buying Boots of Travel, but then your lanes just kind of suck ass, right? No one wants that guy on your team. No one wants that. You don't want to be that guy. Even though it's really good, you wanna be in their face. You don't want to let up. You don't want to let them farm. You don't want to ease up on them. You want to just stay aggressive. But additionally, building into Arcane Blink is just the absolute nuts on this hero. Because of the CDR, and with this buff, you basically get more actives out of your blade mail and so forth. Actually, what the hell am I see? Oh, right, I'm not level 18. Let's go to. I was like, why did I gain duration on that? Let's check that again. Yeah, 9 seconds, and then blade mails at the 12. So you can see how this is pretty fucking good. Now, I don't recommend rushing the Arcane Blink. There's other items you could get. Personally, I like after Blink. I honestly like Boots of Travel, and I'll show you why. Because you keep double boots because you fucking just zoom around the map with phase active. So you're always phasing, and yeah. So never sell your phase boots ever unless you need the slot. It sounds crazy, but double boots is actually really good on Dazzle. He's one of the few heroes that can get away with it. And then yeah, when you get the 250 heal talent, your armlet togglings are even stronger because you pop up the 650 health because of the heal. Obviously, don't stand in next to 5 Shadow Fiends, but you get the idea. And you essentially can just loop this ad infinitum. And you know, blade mail loop, rinse, repeat, forever, 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 literally forever. If you do this right, you will make your opponents feel so demoralized they'll just give up. I guarantee it. I fucking guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's a really demoralizing build because there's really no counterplay. Obviously, Axe and AA, like I said in the original post, but outside of that, I really don't have any answers. Like if I was playing against this, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but if I was playing against this build, what do you do? The only answer is like Storm because you can roll. But then if you're playing against Storm, you just rush Orchid. You don't even play Armlet build. And Orchid's insane just because of cooldown reduction. You're gonna have a 9-second Orchid cooldown. Like there's so many good options for this hero. It's absurd. It's unfortunate that no one plays it, but if they did, yeah. And obviously, Aghanim Shard's dumb. It's so good. You have a Hex, and even the Aghanim Scepter's good now. You have a Cleanse. So there's a lot of options. But I'll close this video with some utility items. I like Lotus Orb a lot on Dazzle, especially with this build because you stay alive forever, but also the cooldown's so low and it gives you a lot of mana early on or in mid game, and you can just loop. You're just looping these insane actives forever. Now I know it becomes a handful to deal with, but what happens is with the Lotus Orb, you become a support to your carry. Now you're protecting him, so your team's just all powerful because you're covering so many different bases with your build. You're a threat, but also your carry is just gonna be a god. Lincoln's is okay if they have some really annoying heroes like Storm Spirit or something where you can't react, and you can still you can buff your allies with Lincolns with a 6-second cooldown. So that's kind of useful if you want to, if you have an Animage or something you want to protect from a mid-roll and still, from your own side you have a 6-second spell block too. So it's there's really no loss. There's no bad buy. It depends on what you're playing against. But Lotus Orb and Lincolns are definitely standout items. Obviously, BKB's good for the cooldown reduction, but no one wants to buy BKB. It's a no fun item, so we don't buy BKB. But if you want to win every game, you can buy BKB. But if you want to have fun, you don't buy BKB. That's generally the rule of Dota. I'm trying to think of any other bases to cover, but I think I went over everything. Arcane Blink, absurd on this hero. It moves your. It's just so good. Yeah, hopefully I answered your questions. I'm actually gonna make a few more videos for y'all, since y'all like these ones. I got a couple other builds I can share. I have a Weaver build and a Terrorblade build. The Terrorblade build I'm actually really excited to share. That's something I've been working on for a while, for years actually. And I think finally, because of Reflection being buffed over the last 2 years, it's in a really good spot. So I'll stay tuned for that. If you are any Terrorblade players, and the other build is it's a offlane Weaver build, not the support Weaver. It's a core Weaver. And I kind of have a Nature's Prophet build, but it's not concrete yet. But the basis of the Nature's Prophet build is a null stack. It's a triple null stack Midas build where I call it the Whip It build, and it involves priming massive amounts of neutral camps. And what I mean by priming is you set up the minions to die to Nature's Wrath. You basically put the minions at the neutrals at 30 health. That way, you gain massive amounts of damage through your Wrath of Nature early on, and you deal a shit ton of damage with your ultimate via level 10 talent plus 30 Wrath of Nature damage, and you rush Kaya Sanja. So you end up with 27% spell damage early on, not scaling or not including any neutral items. So it's pretty cool. It goes, yeah, you'll have to look for it yourself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for reading the post. Have a great day.